Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate. I take a carbon chop to circumnavigate. Steal my heart and let it percolate all night, all right. Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears ain't what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears.
Hello, our favorite people. We need to come up with a term for our fans. Give them their own name. We could knight them. But for right now, hey, people who watch our show, welcome. It's Bears of a Certain Age. Very excited to be here. I just turned another certain age, just not that long ago. I like to say that I don't look anywhere near. I look like I just turned 48 a week ago, and that works.
Well, there you
because
go.
I did. That's all we can
You
say.
don't look a day over 48 in a week. I'll tell you. From here, it's looking fantastic.
I mean, that is good skincare right there.
What did you do for your birthday?
Oh, I did things all week. So I just, so I hung out with friends a lot. And so I made a commitment to myself. And actually, we're going to talk about this a little later. But I decided I was going to say yes to friends for a week. That's a lot. Because I got a lot to do. And a lot of times when I'm done doing them, I want to go home. So I went out to lunches and coffees and dinners. If anybody asked me, I said yes, which was great. And then culminated in this big brunch with a bunch of people that I said yes to. I'm very like socialed out, but I'm glad I did. It was wonderful. It was a nice way to see people who wanted to see me. So I'm glad I did it. And I highly suggest it to anybody out there, introverted, extroverted. It's probably easier if they're extroverted, but if you're introverted, I really suggest just telling yourself, I'm going to say yes for 7 days. And then and because you know there's an end, that helps my mind. I know there's a cutoff. And do I want to see my friends? Yes, but I want more controls. So
that's going to be my goal this year. Because you know me, I don't want to go out unless I absolutely have to. But and my birthday, we've talked about before, that weird December 30th, Christmas, New Year's thing.
Right.
I don't usually do that much for it. But I have a lot of people talking about doing stuff this year, so I may open myself up. I'll try to take the Jonny challenge.
Exactly. Just do a few things that you wouldn't normally do. Because I'll tell you, people don't realize it. Every year I hide from my birthday. Not because I care about the getting older part, but I'm like, I feel like it's so much pressure and you know what I mean? So I don't do anything. If I'm not in Palm Springs, I'm not doing anything. Right. So I just thought, let people love you. That's the name of the challenge for you. Let people love you for just a week. And then, I don't know, it's a nicer way to get it. Because I don't know if you noticed, but we ain't getting younger. So
there you go. And you said, so when you say Palm Springs, I forgot you usually go there for your birthday every year. But we got to remember to wish, because we were going to try to get with our friends over at Surplus, get down to Palm Springs side. And it looks like it may be difficult to happen. Because one of our buddies at Surplus, Patrick, got in an accident, which we talked about in the live show. But he is still in the hospital 2 weeks later. He's got those broken legs. So we want to give a shout out to Patrick over at Surplus Men. Hopefully he feels better soon.
Plural, legs, not just one. Both of them.
Yeah.
Terrifying, because he was run over, or he's hit by a truck. I mean, what? Yeah, that is awful. But at least they were like, your legs are going to heal. You're going to be fine, but you just have to, he has to have physical therapy and all of it. I'm so glad he's going to be okay, but what a horrible thing to go through.
It's the mean streets of Toronto, Canada. That's all there is to it. They're just, they don't know how to drive. I don't know. But I feel bad, but it's been great. We love talking to him and Jason when we can. They've done a great launch in UK. Speaking of UK, of course, I read Bear World magazine a couple times a week, right?
Right.
And they had a study out there yesterday or today. I don't remember which it was. I guess I read it today. But the UK men, 70 plus, are still doing the sex bomb chicka bomb bomb and with more than one partner. That's
Wait, like
70 plus.
the age 70 plus?
Age 70 plus in UK,
Yeah.
bomb chicka bomb bomb, and with more than one partner for most of them. I was impressed.
That's because we do not. I'm telling you, it keeps going no matter what anybody thinks. There is, yeah. Also, I want bomb chicka bomb bomb. I want your face and those words on a t-shirt. And a sweatshirt would work really well.
There you go. I love my little bomb chicka bomb bomb. That's for
I
sure.
mean, and it should be like a dish. There's so many things we can brand with that.
Oh, and speaking of that, speaking of UK and speaking of Bear World, I have very terrible news to share with you.
I don't.
I mean, I may not be a bear.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Did they come out with like some sort of guidebook?
They came out with a bear thing. And I want you to go through this with me because I scored. They said 10 reasons you might be a bear. I got a 2 on it, I think.
Oh,
so I may not be a bear after all. They were kind of good, but tell me what you think on these.
Okay.
Because I thought, what? All right. So this is according to Kyle Jackson, Bear World Magazine,
Oh, yeah.
originally from New Orleans, now in London, United Kingdom. So this is another UK story. He said, these are 10 ways to know that you're a bear. See how many are true for you. And I just lost this ahead of time.
Oh,
Number 1, you have a bear paw on your arm or back tattoo.
I don't.
You have a flag. I have nothing. So
yeah, I
we're
just have a flag. Yeah.
0 for 1 so far. Okay. You're always looking for a workout buddy. I'm a -3 on this one.
I'm not always looking for a workout buddy.
So we're 0 for 2.
Oh my God.
You constantly turn everything into a sexual innuendo, double entendre, or fisting joke. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'm 2 out of 3. I'll take that point.
I don't do it all the time, but I do. Minus the fisting joke. I can make anything sexual. So we'll give myself like a 1 or a half.
There you go. I like that. Okay, same thing. I don't do the third part, but 2 out of 3 I'm okay on. So we got 1 out of 3 so far.
Okay.
You watch rugby and American football to look at the thick legs and butts. That's maybe a half point. I mean, I guess if I do watch sports ball, that's what I'm looking for. But just to get me to watch sports ball is a project in and of itself.
I was going to say, that's the only thing. I will say, you know how sometimes if you're watching YouTube, I will purposely look for those rugby videos where the shorts come down? But I don't do it all the time, but I'll give myself a half on that as well.
There you go. I got to tell you a funny aside here. My buddy Paul Ruggieri is a nurse up in Syracuse, New York, and he's an Olympic gymnast. He was on the Olympic gymnast team, never made it to the Olympics, was in the U.S. Nationals, but just an amazing gymnast, gorgeous man, and a nurse, right? And he's been doing this Ironman stuff and doing all this CrossFit. Oh. So I tease him a lot on this stuff because he does a lot of these fun workout things with these 8,000-pound weights. So he was doing, I was on his Instagram yesterday, and he had like 8,000 pounds above his head. He's bench pressing. And I had to send him a message. It's like, okay, here's the deal. If your knee pads are longer than your short shorts, I think you might be gay. I swear to God, he had the smallest little shorts. He had these big old thick knee pads. Cracked me up. I sent him that, and he just about died laughing on the internet for like 10 minutes. It was so much fun.
If you have short shorts and knee pads and you're not working out, you're definitely gay.
There you go. There you go.
You'll need them.
All right, so we're about 1.5 and 2 points here out of 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You own your own bike jock strap that every bear has. Now I have some jocks. It's not a bike one.
I do too. What do they mean bike? What is
bike is a brand name. It's like old school because I guess we're of a certain age.
Right.
But
I know what ones they're talking about. I'll get one. That's fine. I'm going to count it as a yes because I have plenty, just not the brand.
There you go. Next one. You say woof a lot when greeting, showing approval, having sex, etc. I've done the occasional woof. It's not my go-to.
Wait, when you say it during sex, is that what it said? I don't think
No, it just says a lot. When greeting people, when showing approval, when having sex is one of them. That's just one
see,
of
that's
like.
just weird to me. I think I would take myself out of it. It would just make
Yeah.
me laugh so hard. I will be the first to say I do have some friends who use it as a noun, an adjective, a conjunctive verb, all of it, right?
Right.
And I can't handle it. Annoys me. So that is a definite no for me.
Yeah, I don't think I'll give myself a point on that either. I've used it on I've woofed back, but I will never initiate a
Right.
woof. Let's
Yeah.
put it that
I don't even
way.
use it as
All
a
right,
flirt on the apps. I can't even do it. No.
exactly. All right, number I think this is 7. All right, making out is a suitable way to greet your friends or someone you just met.
Okay.
No.
Wait, it's never happened. It sounds fun. One time it happened to me, and I didn't mind because he was cute, and I was at the Eagle in LA, and it was fun times. But yeah, that's just not me, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's where I always meet my friends that way, or especially someone I just met. But I
Right?
like a good kiss. I love a good
Right?
kiss.
That sounds
That's
like an
always nice.
interesting friend circle that maybe I need to cultivate.
Exactly. Maybe I'll give myself a quarter point on that. But I don't know.
See,
There we go.
right?
All right. Now this one is just silly to me. The next one, number 8. Mean Girls and Clueless are on your top films of all time list.
Wait, that's me. I have that one. Because
Really?
Mean Girls Day happened. It's happened
Well,
in
we're taping this on Mean Girls Day. It's the day
October
before this is
3rd.
going to air. It's October 3rd, so
Yeah.
we're taping this day before it airs. And I guess it is Mean Girls Day, and I shouted out even on my social media to Jonathan Bennett, who I just love.
I love him.
I'm
And his
probably
husband.
more in love with his husband, James,
Yeah.
but I
I
think
love
Jonathan Bennett is one of the most talented people on the
Oh
planet. Though.
yeah. And we have
Love
hope
that.
because he met his husband doing a press junket. So
Right.
we could meet our forever man doing our show.
And his husband, we found him on The Amazing Race
Yes.
when he was a Chippendale guy with his
Right?
friend, and thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I like James. I love. In fact, we've been teasing back and forth all day on social media, man. My social media friends, because we just want to go on a trip that's curated by James. They have their own travel company now.
Oh my
They do these.
gosh. Must be nice. I want that.
That would be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
So, but that's really one of your top films is Mean Girls and Clueless.
Clueless since I was 20. I used to have
Really?
insomnia for years, and that was my go-to movie in the middle of the night. Clueless, I love Clueless, and Mean Girls, so much fun. So yes, they are top of my list. Love it.
I like them, but they're not my top list. So I don't get a point. So you get a big point. I think you're at 3. I'm still at like 2 1/4.
I'm still not good enough, but here we go.
All right, number 9. You've uttered the words "Your dad is hot" before. Now I'm just getting into my daddy Scott phase here,
Right?
so I'm liking being the daddy. I don't think I've ever said anyone else's daddy's hot.
Yeah, I haven't. Not that I would be against saying it, but no, I've never.
No, not at all.
Right?
Yeah, just not my thing. All right, no points there for either of us. And the very last one, number 10, you have that one harness that goes with every pair of jeans.
Oh, I need it. I don't have it. I need one though. But so
I'm the same way. I don't have one.
right.
I'm not opposed to one. I think it'd be kind of fun, but I don't
So
have it. So
we
altogether, for out of 10, I'm at 2 1/4. So I
and
may
I'm at
not be
3.
there.
So
I'm very
I
sad.
feel like we can't have the show anymore. But I think you and I need to come up with our own top 10 list. That's a little
We'll
more.
have to do that for maybe next
Yeah.
week or the week after. We'll come up
I
with
think
that. That'd be
so
a great
because I
idea.
feel like this one was missing some things. So
Yeah, I
will
don't
come
think
up
we're
with our-
tweaks of a certain age by any mean, but bears of a certain age, I mean, we're not going to be allowed to say that anymore. I'm very depressed about that.
I would like to still, ironically, I love T-shirts, as we can tell. I'm always like, that should go on a T-shirt, but I want to be a twink of a certain age. I want.
Exactly right. How much
Well,
fun
you know
would that
what's funny about this? So I've had on my other show this gentleman named Ian Kelly. He's a radio personality, He's been on twice, mostly because all of my watchers are thirsty, and so they love him, and I adore him. He's a great guy. But we had a conversation about labels. He is a bear if I've ever seen one. But he doesn't identify as a bear. He's like, should
Really?
I? I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's like obvious to be. It's not something. So we need to help him embrace his bearhood. I mean, I'll
All
embrace
right.
it.
Not next week, the week after. We're
Yeah.
going to have Scott and Johnny's 10
Exactly.
things that'll show you're a bear.
I'm
And we'll
telling
be a little
you.
more realistic than
Yeah,
friend
exactly.
Kyle there at Bear
We
World
can help
Magazine.
you decide if you're a bear and if you're a bear of a certain age.
Exactly.
Well, you can be both. We'll see.
Exactly. And I'm feeling bear of a certain age. I mean, it's starting to turn wintry in Northeast Ohio. I'm getting the creaky knees with the
Oh.
weather changing. I'm not liking it. And it's getting
No.
dark all of a sudden, so I can't see anymore. I'm not liking it.
We are back to dark when I get up, dark when I go home, which
I
is
hate
my
that.
least favorite thing. Now, what has been your temperature-wise up there? Where are you at?
It's just this weekend going into the yuck. I mean, we've stayed nice. 74 to 78
Yeah.
has been kind of nice. But I think it's 59 for a high on Sunday. So it's like hibernation time for this bear.
Right?
No.
We have our last good week. Like on Sunday, thank God, I'm doing a video shoot, and it's going to be 78. But then all next week we're at 60. So we know and we all get it. It's October. Doesn't mean we have to like it. But talk about the creaky. I'm just like, my knee all of a sudden. I'm like, what? What is happening? I left my knee back there. Yeah, and it's getting too much. But I think I would put up with the cold if the darkness wasn't all the time. You know what I mean?
And my thing is, I can't sleep in the light, so I'm usually up a lot. So especially in the summertime, I get up around 5 or 5:30 when it's light, and I go to bed. Well, I go to bed late anyway. But like, all I want to do is sleep now. When it's dark out, I get up. It's like 7:15. It's still dark here. It's like I don't want to get up if it's dark. It just it ruins my whole day, kind of.
Well, so I get up way too early. Just always do, and I get up and go to the gym at 4 a.m. And then I always tell my dog, when I come back, I said him this week, I'll take you for a walk before I go to my day job. This will be great. No, I would have to sit at home and wait till like 7:30 because it never happens. So I feel guilty because he's like, you said walk. And I'm like, I was just kidding. I just don't, I expect it to be dark at 4 a.m. I'm like, that's just the thing. But I cannot handle how long it stays that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's now, like I said, it starts getting a little light around 7 o'clock is when it starts getting light.
Yeah.
And it starts getting dark by 6:30 now. It's like
When do you guys typically get your first S word?
It depends here. Sometimes it's been on Halloween, sometimes. Usually But I mean, knock on wood, global warming's happening in Northeast Ohio. So it really hasn't been bad because I don't like to shovel snow, especially. So I've only had to do it 2 or 3 times the last 2 years. It's like buried.
See, we get buried, just buried. And we start about the same time you guys do. But I don't, because I live in an apartment, so I don't shovel snow unless I'm visiting my mother. And I did have to do it last year, and I thought I could die at any moment.
I generously say that I only shovel snow 2 times a year. I actually reach into my wallet and pay the guy that shovels it 2 times a year. So that's to be honest, if I have to be honest with you.
That's exactly how it should be. Yeah.
It's been really weird. The last couple of years, it does small layers of snow, and then it goes away for a day or two, then a small layer of snow. We haven't got really inundated more than, like I said, 2 or 3 times a year the last couple of years.
We always tend to have big winters, but we have had them in a row. Like, it is like a blizzard comes every few days, and then an ice storm just for fun. And it's just, and listen, my friends, and it's true, I get very angry at winter. I act like winter is a person, and I want to just beat it to shit. I hate it. Hate it so much. But I'm trying to be zen this year. It won't last, but I'm going to try to be zen this year. Ugh.
Now, do you have to cheat? Do you use anything like a light or one of those things that kind of helps you get
I
through it all, or do you just tough it
right.
out? I'm a tough it outer.
For a long time, I toughed it out. I do find that as I get older, not as easy. So I do have one of those lights you can have at your desk, or you know what I mean, to help. But can I tell you, I haven't really noticed a gigantic difference, and I want to, but I think my seasonal affective disorder is just so strong. It's like your friend with the 8,000 pounds. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, but I always like winter to hurry the hell up. My two favorite seasons are fall, which lasts about a sneeze here,
Right.
and then spring, which is the same way. We'll get 2 weeks of spring, and then it's 800 degrees. So those are my favorite moments in
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
exactly. I like that they're moments. I love that.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. But
Give me
we've been doing the show. I was doing some sort of thing for my other show, and Kurt had a camera, always dangerous. And he asked me that, and we had just started our show. And he asked me why, right? Why bears of a certain age? And so then I shared it on all my socials, and I
right.
started getting emails. I started getting notes from people, very kind people, people I don't know, um, and saying to me, because I think one of the sentences I said was, I think as we get older, especially as gay men, we don't like to be fully honest about what getting older is like, and we try really hard to it doesn't have to be negative, but we try really hard to kind of cover it up and make it all pretty. And it's not all bad, but when you make everything amazing and you never talk about the pretty, it's so I had so many notes from people who were like, I really love that you said that. And I got notes from people who say that we are part of their regular week, which is really sweet, and
I
love
love that.
hearing that. But it started me thinking about, is this true? I think it is. Even for me, I try to, no one needs to know what's happening
Well, I
at
think
48.
everyone wants to put their best foot forward, right? So everyone's trying to put on that brave face, or just the face that there's nothing wrong with me. Everything's
Right.
great. My life is. I think it's a social media effect, right? That's all you
Oh,
ever see on social media is everyone's best life. You
yeah.
never see that. And I think it just kind of now slowly permeated into our regular interactions with our regular friends as well. We feel we have to show for them, even though they've known us all our life, right?
And don't you also think, I will just say this, do you think that sexuality is playing into that? Gay men, I feel like we put extra pressure on us. You know what I mean? Because here's the deal. I'm talking to a lot of my heterosexual friends. They, my age, it doesn't seem to even cross their mind because they've got their shit. They're doing their, and I'm like, I had to tell my brother the other day, I'm still single. So I gotta put on a good advertisement. Like you said a minute ago, you just want to put on a face. Yeah, that's all my expectation is. I need to put some face on in the morning. But I think that gay men are great procrastinators. And I think because of the pressure we put on ourselves to stay vital and, relevant, I feel like, therefore, we don't want, which is why I think men's groups of certain age, so you have someone to be honest and just be like, hey, because I told, like I said, I had brunch for my birthday, and
Right.
there, and all the colors of the rainbow are there, all of the LGBTQIA plus everything is there, and what is fascinating to me is we're all basically talking about the same thing. My friend, she's the sweetest. She's my artistic director, and she's like, I was talking to my doctor the other day. Do you know that inflammation is just common once you hit a certain age? And I'm like, it's true. The swelling inside is, and
Right.
not the swelling we want, is a thing, and we don't talk about that. And then we don't, and because we don't talk about that, we don't share like the things we've learned about how to address things, right? Because we want to stay looking like we're, well, fuck that. Not, we can be 80 and we're 80. It doesn't mean you matter less. It doesn't mean any of that. But I would love it if people would start talking. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. And I got to be honest, I'm horrible at taking care of myself.
Oh,
And it's really bad. And it's something that I need to work on a lot. I had a AFib. I got an AFib, right? So I had
mm-hmm.
so they put me on some medication for it, and
Right.
eventually, a month and a half later, they gave me a little shock to get it back into rhythm. So I've had that for the last month or so.
Oh,
I
wow.
stopped taking my pills. I'm not taking my. I'm never used to taking pills, so I am
Right.
horrible at that. I mean, my mom has given me like two of those little things that have all the days in it. It's like I just
Exactly.
can't remember to take them, and now I have to take more and more pills. You're supposed to take
Yeah.
what, 81 baby aspirin every day. You're supposed to take
Right.
this. You're
Well,
supposed to take
you've heard
that.
you've heard you're
I
not
can't
supposed to do
remember.
that anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think what they said is we're not supposed to start that up till 65 now.
Okay, we
Ask your
got a
doctor.
while.
But you know what's so funny is so AFib, that's also something Kurt's dealt with for years, right? He has
Mhm.
he has stubbornly tried to die on us a few times for this stupid thing. They made, and I have it as well. Mine started at 25, and every 5 years I end up in the ER trying to get things back in rhythm. But they did the whole thing with him where they put that wire up into his heart and killed half of his heart. They killed part, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that thing that beats and helps me live. We don't need to kill any of that.
You know what? They warn you, and I'm so freaking bad. This is the deal. I go in to get the little shock thing to put it back in the rhythm, right?
Right.
And so I'm wheeling in there, and they wheel me in and everything, and they say, "So have you missed any medication?" And I said, "Well, to be honest, I think I've missed one or two before. This is before the surgery thing.
Right.
So I missed one or two." They said, "Well," he says, "then we should probably do." I forget. They had to do something extra to make sure that sometimes I guess when they shock you, it'll send the little clots through you if you haven't been taking your medicine and
Oh,
everything.
great.
I said, okay, well in that case, I haven't taken my pills 6 times. If we're gonna talk about that, it's been 6 times. So then I got my little shot. So they did the little test for it, and it was fine, and everything was great. And I haven't had any problems since. But I'm back to at least missing 6 times with my pills again. So
Right. I
they're
don't,
gonna hate me if I ever have to go back.
and the thing that I hate is that they're never quite sure if it really is AFib or something else, and that makes me have less confidence in them. The last time I had an episode, I refused to go to the ER because I'm like, I ain't paying that bill. They don't know what's happening. They always just stick me on the EKG and then send me home and hope for the best. I'm like, well, I can hope for the best on my own. So last
Right.
time, Kurt and another friend just took shifts at my house, just made sure I was still breathing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. But, I mean, still, take the medication just in case. But it's weird. Yeah, they killed half of Kurt's heart and he was still having issues. I'm like, see, I don't trust it.
I think one of my favorite comedians, I don't know if you know, is Joe Coy. If you ever listen to
Oh,
Joe
God,
Coy's
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
love Joe Coy. And one of his funniest bits is about his AFib machine, right? Or not AFib, his sleep
Oh,
apnea machine that he
yes.
has to wear, right? And he talks about being embarrassed. He has a date, a girl coming over in the night. And he says, "I don't want you to have to see this." She's, "Oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal." And it's like, and he ends up doing it. And it's like, I feel the same with my pills. I hide my little pill thing because
Right?
luckily I don't take any more, but I don't know if when you were a big guy, I had a pre-diabetes, I
Yeah.
had thyroid, I had this. I was taking 4 or 5 pills at a
Yeah.
time. Since I lost the weight, I haven't had to use any of those really.
Yeah.
All I did, I just had to start taking these 2 pills for the AFib about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So I was nice to get rid of them all again. But I mean, I used to hide my pill thing if I had people come over. It's like, I don't want to show that I'm
Right.
one of those guys that have to take
Listen,
medicine every night.
I have done that. You know what's funny though? Because I feel the same way. I also have hidden my medications. Guaranteed, they're hiding theirs. I'm just saying. Let's be honest. You know it's happening. And the other thing that's funny, I'm just anytime someone dies, whether they're celebrity or not, I'm like, how old were they? So then I can be like, and if they're in their 40s, I'm like, oh God, it can happen at any moment. So I have to go through the drama of this could be me. doesn't matter. We don't know when. So
I
that's
read
why.
the paper every day, and that's all I do is I scan for the birth dates of the
Right?
thing. I don't care how they died. I don't care when they died. I
Yeah.
don't care any of that. But I look at the date that they were born. So, okay, as long as the average is it's before I was born, then I'm good. If it's after I was born, I'm in deep shit all of a sudden, right? So it's like, that's
Exactly.
one thing I look at. I read that paper every day.
What else is fascinating? You were mentioning as we get older, we're not necessarily great at taking care of ourselves. And so one of the things I have to tell you, I'm neurotic. And one of my panics is, oh my God, I'm not married. I either need to get really, really close to my nieces and nephews, or I'm dying on the street. So I actually looked up, first of all, did you know, here, let me pull out some stats. 2.4 million LGBT seniors 65 and older are in the US. I bet you that's a low estimate, but 2.4 million. And so that's in the US, and these people over 65, we still aren't great at having affordable assisted living. We're finally getting I think there's quite a few of the like retirement villages. But listen, I am single. So, I've got to afford the village now. And what if I need assisted living? Because my knee's not going to hold out forever. These are the things we don't think about. I'm like, all that time I didn't want to get married, maybe I should rethink my now I'm just going to start dating everybody. And be like, you love me, right?
And those things are so expensive. I mean, you look at what it costs. I think I read something yesterday or Saturday maybe, that I think they were like 66, 67-year-old couple booked 51 cruises for a year because it was cheaper than staying in a retirement home. So they went on a cruise every week. They had all their meals paid for and everything. It was cheaper than the retirement home they were going to.
That makes me sad. I mean, I'm over here looking at places outside the U.S. that are cheaper.
Right.
Because it's getting crazy. Well, there are, and I want to know an opinion on one of these from you, but there are U.S. News and World Report have named the top 8 cities in America for gay people to retire.
Ooh,
so,
what's that?
Number 1 is Cleveland. You're close to there, right?
It's an hour away, really?
Is that true?
I don't want to retire an hour away. That's so sad. But okay. Why? Did they say why they're good? Is it for like they combine health reasons and things, or what?
Health reasons, and they have like these queer communities where if you're above a certain age. So, and now I don't know about cost yet, but they say that's a great city. They also said San Francisco, who can afford it, but that's a good one. I'm like, no kidding, it would be a great one to retire in, but you can't, right. I mean, you have to be Silicon Valley. Charleston, South Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, which I love, but it's a little expensive, but Portland, Oregon, Austin, Texas, you can't afford it there. Plus, if you've been there at all recently, it really is, they've aged down. There's a lot of
I was just going to say, Austin reminds me of all these hype young gay guys moving to Austin.
Which I love, but I don't think they're retiring. Right. Denver, Colorado, which I also love, but they get too much snow. But I lived right by there for years and years and years. And final one is Toronto, which isn't in the U.S., so I don't know how it made the list. But still, Toronto, there you go.
There you go. And that's where our friends with Surplus, they're dating Apple Plus, that's where they're based out of. So
apparently, it's a good place for men of a certain age. You know what I mean? So
I like it.
I feel like we have a ways to go. I used to date a guy who would run assisted living places, and he was trying to open more and more LGBT ones. And I know it's still a struggle. I mean, so I'm like, I don't want to think about being that age too much, but we have to think about it a little bit.
Right.
And
I'm very surprised that Palm Springs is not on that list. I mean, they have some great retirements. In fact, I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking to someone from my other show on Friday, and I can't remember who the heck I was talking to. They said they're building a whole brand new one on Keats there.
Well, remember as well, Florida wasn't on here either. So
Oh, that's
they
great.
must have taken cost into, because I love my Palm Springs, but I'm going to need
Right.
to win the lottery a couple times in
Yeah.
order to afford to live there. It's a great place, but I'm wondering if they take cost into consideration.
That's what I'm
Because,
wondering. Like Cleveland, like I can't think. I'll have to go explore Cleveland and report back. Be a little
I
cub
want to
reporter.
know.
Go check that thing for us
Yeah.
Bears. I'll be a cub reporter. I'm so punny all of a sudden. So I'll go be a go check on that. I know. I mean, the Cleveland Clinic is based there, obviously. So I'm sure there's
Yeah,
great health care involved, and they do a lot of stuff, very
right.
low cost and stuff. So I'm sure that ranked high in it. But I just don't know what the other LGBT
Yeah,
benefits are.
I'm curious. Go undercover. Go find out.
I
You
will.
know. And then the LGBT Center in Los Angeles has a whole program
Yes.
for senior gay, and I got to tour it, and so they do really well there too. But LA, of course, cost of living there is
Right.
crazy. So it's got to be cost of living that's part of this thing. But there are some resources I think out there. But one of the things as we get older, we need to be cognitive of these things, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be thinking about let's plan our wills. It doesn't have to be that,
Right.
but it does mean take care of yourself, which is not a bad thing. Wellness is important. I think a lot of gay men as we get older isolate more. It's just more. I would rather hibernate than see most people. So the other thing is create a social group that it can be small, but it's a social group that you always. Not only is it good for mental health, but it's good because we can check on each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
hey Johnny, are you still breathing? Good. Okay. So it's important that we remember we have to build stronger relationships as we get older. And hello, gay men, we need to take care of each other. You know?
Right.
Yeah. And I think those are the kinds of things that are fun that we can do, but we have to be aware. The average age of men before they die is not, I mean, women way outlive us. So we have to keep those things in mind. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I think that's the biggest key is just having those connections. Even like I said, we love to kind of tease and sometimes not tease about kind of living that solitary lifestyle, but
Right?
you really do through social media, through texting, through something. You have to have some core people that you can at least, and not for yourself, but checking on them at least. I mean, find someone
Exactly.
that's looking
And
out for somebody else.
to sometimes taking care of or teaching others is a great way to take care of and teach ourselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think talking to these gentlemen this past week and these emails, what's fascinating is none of us want to talk about it, but these are the things that secretly in the back, they were waiting for someone to give permission to say, it's
Right.
okay to talk about these are some issues that we have. I tease my younger friends all the time about how, well, I'll tell you what's coming. But the truth is, that's probably a good thing. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not falling apart. I still have a sex life. I still am vibrant. I'm still doing fun things. But we should also, it's that old cliche of youth is wasted on the young. It's true.
Right.
And then we act like we're invincible and we're not taking those moments. And for a lot of men who are like, I like the young, well, you can like the guys younger than you, but don't pretend like life is perfect. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that you can still fit in with them. They don't care. They're dating you because they like an older guy. They're not
Exactly.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's part of our bear culture that we do embrace, that we can always embrace more. There's a difference between being healthy and being just letting yourself go, right? You
Yeah.
don't have to go run the marathon, you don't have to go
Right.
to the gym every day, but hey, do some sit-ups at your house in the morning,
Right?
do some couch crunches.
Yeah.
We should kind of go over that and maybe find an expert in senior
Oh, yeah.
have someone come
Yeah.
on to talk about that
Now, listen,
sometime.
I'm stubborn,
But
so
we
don't
really
feel.
need to keep active. The
Yeah.
more you don't do something, the harder it is to get started at it, right?
Thank you. Well,
And
it's like that thing where they tell you, because I don't go to the gym at 4 a.m. because I like it. No. But where they tell you the stretching thing is what gets me. Like my grandma could put
stretching thing.
right the thing. I'm not good at it. And I was once told at physical therapy when I was in my I think I was 32, that I had the tightest hamstrings he had ever witnessed. And I said, thank you. And he's like, no, that's not good. Like, that's not. My grandma could put her, she lived to 103. She could put her leg behind her head still. Just, and I'm like, where is this in my life? But I'm not good at stretching. But I will tell you, it is true. As I get older, that is very helpful to be able to, you know what I mean? To stretch. We need, it's the little things. Look, have you ever seen I think they're called the old gays? They're on,
of course, yeah.
Those are some honest, vibrant, hilarious men of a certain age that make us look young and, you know. And I love
and
listening
they're just
to
going it down. I mean, they've been on RuPaul's Drag Race. They have their own YouTube channel. They've been invited to all these things. And they're just very open and honest and funny. They are so funny.
And they will talk about anything. They will talk about it all. And I'm like, see, we need more of that, you know? I mean, I'm not anti-youth. You guys do you, because it's fun while you're down there. But let's not forget that it's a whole, you know, Hollywood has fucked us over and made everyone think that once you're past 30, you know, you no longer count. And I actually saw an actor the other day who had his 31st birthday, and he goes, I guess I'm dead. And I'm like, fuck that shit. Like, you know what I mean? But it's true. Let's change the paradigm, and let's have these conversations, and let's be honest. Let's be honest about eyesight. I'm just saying, 45 was when it all changed for me, and I have to wear readers. Yeah, I have to put these on so I can read a menu now. But who cares? I just embrace it and go, oh, handsome man is coming. You know what I mean? But we have
there you go. No, I was exactly. I had the best eyesight. I mean, I had fantastic eyesight. But like you said, right at 40, 41 years old, it started going downhill and relatively quickly. And the thing, I don't know if you've noticed it, but the more I wear my glasses, the more I need my glasses. If I take them off, it's like, that pisses me off a lot.
Yes,
and I told my guy that it's like, if I wear these for a long time, I take them off, I can't see. If I don't wear them for a week, I'm seeing better than I have in forever. It's just really weird. I don't like it.
But I'm with you. It makes me angry. And I'm like, this is all a scam. Then I start sounding like that 80-year-old, like, get off my lawn. I'm like, this, because I have the same problem. I'm like, this is not cool. Is my eyesight getting worse because I'm getting older? Or is my eyesight getting worse because I'm using these damn glasses? I don't trust it.
Exactly. No. I think it's just causing us to strain our eyes in a different way. We think everything is fine, and then we take it off, and your eyes go, what the hell? If you just would have let it gradually go, it would have worked a lot better.
Do you ever still... So when I was in grade school, I had to have glasses, right? So I still remember that the doctor would tell me how you have to do the eye exercises, where you look in the distance for 2 minutes out of every hour. I do that just in case it helps. I don't know if it does, but... I'm like, I'm going to try that. It's pretty bad. It's only over the last 6 months that I have just given in. And like, I'll wear them in public now. And I'll look for them when they're on my head. I mean, that's just life now. So
I didn't realize how vain I was until the other day. It's like, I have no pretenses. I'm a big guy. I look decent, but I'm not an overly handsome guy. I've always teased that I've had the face for radio, which is why I hate doing this video thing. But I just realized I'm pretty vain because I had a guest come on the other day for my other show, and we're in spooky season, of course. So I'm trying to have at least one spooky guest a week. And he was traveling, so he couldn't do the video. He had to do audio only.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought, well, okay, if I'm doing audio only, I'm going to put the headphones on, because when we're doing this now, I won't wear my headphones because it makes me look goofy. But then when I'm doing audio only, it's like, okay, now I can go ahead and put the headphones on because no one can see me.
Exactly.
I'm a lot more vain than I thought. What's up with that?
I think I will say this. So my birthday happened. My brother's like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, you know what I want? This eye cream called TNS Eye Repair. That was all I wanted. And I got it. So I do skincare like there's no tomorrow, because I'm like, you got to keep it as long as you can keep it, you know? So I think there's vanity in all of us for sure. Listen, I have a freaking stylist who obviously wasn't working today, but who I'm like, listen, I'm in front of people too much. You need to help me look okay. We released our our latest show today, and I watched the video in the morning just to get. It was traumatizing. I think I was just like right away. I called my stylist and I'm like, "Listen, I'm watching myself on camera and I want to cry. I need you this week to fix this." But I think it's just normal. Would you ever do plastic surgery if money wasn't an issue?
The only plastic surgery I would do, I wouldn't do anything that you see. The only plastic surgery I do, because when I lost the weight, it kind of sags. So I
Yeah.
would do the skin kind of thing to get rid of some of the extra skin. But that's probably the only plastic. I would not do anything else. Have you tried that eye cream though that tightens it up? I
Yes, that's what
love
I
that.
use now. Yes, and it's amazing. And I'm telling you, I used to work at med spa, and I'm telling you, they're not a sponsor, but Skin Medica has the best. And so I use the TNS Eye Repair by Skin Medica. It ain't cheap, but it lasts a long time. Yeah, because it'll tighten up that skin. I'm like, yes, this. But you know what they don't tell you? Because I totally get what you're saying. I've lost a lot of weight in my life. What they don't tell you is you don't even have to have a lot of weight to lose. There comes a time as we get older that our skin is like, you know what, I did my job. And so you can lose 20 pounds and have. And so, I mean, if no one's telling you, young ones, that's a thing. Like, if you
Right,
have the stamina to keep a six pack, you go. Proud of you. I love it.
exactly.
But it changes. Our body changes, our metabolism changes as we get older. So I would tell you, I would do the same thing. But unlike you, I would get the full works.
That's what I was going to ask. I
Yeah.
kind of,
'Cause-
well, you're more in the camera too. That's you. That's been your profession more than this has never been my
But-
profession. It's actually a
right.
profession for you. So I
Oh,
think
yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's a whole different
And
animal. I
I
think
will
if I
think,
had to be there for different other televised events and things like that, that's a lot more. This just us hanging out and having fun.
yeah.
I don't care.
And there's a
I'm pretty easy.
danger. I go, okay, once you start, who's there to tell you? Because I don't want to start looking like an alien. I just want to, I
Right.
would love to tighten the chin. I would love to just make sure that the eyes stay where they're supposed to be. The eyelids are up a little. That's all I want. But you know how easy it is to go from, you look refreshed to what the fuck happened to you? You are an alien. And so I would want, I'm willing to do it, but I would want someone to tell me. But
Right.
also, I'm the guy who's terrified of Botox. So,
So I don't
how
like
much
needles. I wouldn't do Botox just because of the needles. I cannot stand a
at
needle.
our age, I will tell you, after working in the med spa industry, at least 200 shots. At least. I'm like, 200? What the hell kind of Hellraiser little pinhead is this? 200. And that's at the low end. And they charge you like $12 a syringe. I'm like, what is. It's insane to me. Insane.
I've had a lot of my actor friends that have been on my other show come on who've done all of the Botox and things like that. And like I said, I understand with the profession what they're looking for, but it's just I don't know. I couldn't. It's too much.
I
Too
just
much.
I want I want to look I want to look 48 for the rest of my life. So whatever, because I don't hate how I look now, but I know
This is how tired I am this week. I brought my coffee pot. I brought my coffee pot downstairs to the studio with me.
just
That's how bad it is.
throw the cup away and just drink directly from the coffee.
I'm telling you, I got this. I got this. I have my creamer. I got Splenda packs in my pocket. I don't care.
Someone
I
asked
need the
me
beverage.
how bad my addiction was, and I said it's so bad that I researched and found out that 48 cups of coffee in a day can kill you. So I have 47. That's
You know
the
what? I
addiction.
thought I looked really dark. I didn't notice that my light was out until just now.
You looked great, but now it looks like your house is haunted.
There you go. It's like, come on, light. What's up with you today? That's crazy.
Woo, it's giving you a
Right, what
light
the heck?
show.
There you go.
Well, we are kind of winding down now for this episode. I've got to say, first of all, I can already tell you the people who talk to me are going to love this episode. And what I want to ask of the viewers is give us something real. Tell us something
Right.
real that you deal with because you're older. It doesn't make us less valid, but we can help each other. So let's bound together. Also, if you have some nieces and nephews that need gay people to take care of, I'm right here.
Exactly. And with a
How
couple
much?
extra relatives with an extra bed or so, having that extra little the in-law suite or whatever it's called.
Right?
Let us know. We're always looking for an option.
Listen, the minute I turned 48, I scheduled a trip to go visit my family. Listen, I'm messing around anymore. I'm like, hey, tell the nieces and nephews I'm coming to say hi. There's
I
hope
love
still.
it.
There's hope still. It's perfect. But this is fun. You know, we talked about inflammation. I'm telling you, first of all, get yourself an anti-inflammatory diet. Get your blueberries going. And you know what doesn't help? Because my knee hates me. I did a 5K once, and the doctor said that I could never do one again, which was a relief because I have no cartilage left in my right knee. So I'd like to say it's a sports injury. But these are things that we have to start paying attention to. So I just love, like, let's share some advice, people. We may look good, but, you know,
There you
we're,
go. I
we're
love you
holding on
said
to
that.
life.
I've been nursing my knee injuries forever. I mean, my one time sports ball, I was a wrestler in high school and I blew out my knees and I've been living off that lie for because I did. I mean, they're bad, but they're not as bad as I say, but they're bad.
I
But
mean,
it's like I can't handle my knees
it's a
anymore.
lot. And my doctor said, okay, when you're, we're going to put it off, but we need to do a knee replacement at 65. I'm like, then I better get some good use out of these knees until, because my mom just had her knee replaced for the first time. And
Really?
she's in her 70s, and I saw how hard that was. I got no interest. It's done. I'm done with it. But please share your stories, guys. Tell us how old you are. Tell us let's hear the good and the bad. Tell us what you celebrate about being where you're at in life, and then tell us the reality. What do you deal with? What's your thing? It gets cold. We have bad knees, so the cold makes it hard on us. You know what? Let's just be real and stop apologizing for existing. You know?
Right. This show is just to talk about life. That's what Johnny and I do. I mean, we don't have any set agenda. We love if you send in different bear hugs we'll do from time to
Yeah.
time. We'll do different things, but we just want to know what's going on in your life. That's all we're doing. We're just sharing our
Yeah.
fun things and not so fun things. And
And
it's just
like I
getting by.
tell everybody, you can celebrate everything. So you should do what I do. People are like, you did a photo shoot? Yeah, because you find a photographer and decide to do a photo shoot. Do things that make you feel amazing. I'm shooting a whole video this weekend about celebrating who we are as people, no matter what. So I'm dancing in a park in public with two guys in little briefs. Listen, you can make your life what you want your life to be. So do it, no
There
matter
you
how
go.
old you are. So it'll be good.
Well said. And you can get a hold of us at podcastbears@gmail.com. Our email is always open. You can go to Bears of a Certain Age on Instagram and Threads and DM us. We read all of our DMs. We appreciate everyone that leaves us comments there. So this, like we've said it from the very first episode, this is a very interactive show. We love talking with you. We want to hear what's happening in your life. We're sharing what's happening in our lives and what the reality is of being a bear of a certain age. There's
Yeah.
good points and there's bad points, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about it all here.
And stay tuned. We will give you our list of what makes a bear. So
There you go. Look for that. If not next week, the week after. You guys, it's spooky season. Enjoy it out there. Enjoy the cider. Forget the pumpkin spice. There's way too much of that.
right.
But have a cup of cider, relax and enjoy. Since it is getting darker, cuddle up with a blanket early. Find a good. We're gonna have to talk soon about Christmas movies. Yay!
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I'm so excited. We
At
start
least one of us
November. I'm
likes
so
them.
bad. All right, everyone. You've been listening to Bears of a Certain Age with Scott and Johnny. Johnny, always good talking, buddy.
You too. Bye, everybody. We want to hear from you.
Look for us every Wednesday, guys, right here. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Ah!
Hey guys, it's Scott from Bears of a Certain Age. Surplus is here, the new gay dating app exclusively for us mature men. Johnny and I are excited to have them as our premier community brand partner right here on Bears of a Certain Age. On the Surplus app, where older is always bolder, available now on both Apple and Android phones. We hope you'll join us where you can get the app so you can meet the man.
Bears got the best of me. Said bears on my fantasy. Said bears into what I like. We do it all night, all right. Bears that don't discriminate. I take a carbon chop.